Welcome to Curly Crowns. I'm Ashuantay.
And I'm Lori, and welcome to our queendom.
This is our very first episode, and we thank you for joining us. We're going to be talking all things related to reality, our hair, Black excellence, all of that. But today's episode, we're going to be talking about Married at First Sight, season 12,
Yes.
located in Atlanta.
Mhm.
So, Lori, what were your thoughts in watching this?
3 hours. Why?
It
Did
was
we
a
need
very
three
long.
hours? Did we?
We didn't. We did not need
We
that
did
long,
not.
but you have to draw out the suspense and to introduce all the couples, I guess. But it was so long.
It was, you know why I think it was so long though? I think the success of season 11 with New Orleans, those couples were the bomb. I think they were trying to milk it like everybody misses us. We were on a little bit of a hiatus. We missed the season. So we're going to start off with 3 hours that we did
Well,
not need.
and we're still in the middle of a pandemic, right? So
We
we
are.
should all be home.
Okay, that's true.
So what else
Wait,
are you gonna
nothing.
do? Watch TV. So they're like, hey, we're gonna give you 3 hours to watch this because you should be home anyways. What else are you out there
Listen,
doing?
after
Country
hour
stuff.
two, I was like, why is this not wrapping up? And I had to be like, is this for real gonna be 3 hours? No. This is ridiculous. But that's neither here nor there. I'm done complaining. We'll just go ahead and hit it right off with these couples that they introduced us to. They kind of started into the wedding. They had the bachelor party, the bachelorette party. So we're gonna talk about that right now. So let's kick this off with the first two people that they introduced us to, Brianna and Vincent. Okay, both 28, but let me hear your thoughts about Miss Brianna, please.
First impressions, I like Brianna.
Okay.
Smart, outspoken, optimist, as they described her. She's an engineer.
Hmm.
Seems like she has her life together. I love the personality that she showed on the intro.
Yeah.
I really like her.
I
So
love
I
her
think
hair. Her hair was bomb to me.
and her friend hair, when they were meeting, I was like
Yes,
looking at her like, oh my gosh, I wish my hair could do that.
hair goals for sure.
Hair goes for
Sure, hair
sure.
goals.
What did you think about her?
I liked her. It's always interesting to me to see the type of personalities that would do a show like this. Not just do the show, but actually go through the entire process. When you're like super reserved, picky, it just doesn't seem like that's in her personality. But of course, this is episode one, so we really don't know Brianna. But from the intro, it just seems like she's picky about people. She kind of is a homebody. So I'm just surprised that she would do something like this.
Yeah, I noted her laundry list, right? Most women have it, right? We have this
Yep.
list of all these things that we want. And that did have me pause. I'm like, because usually what happens is they give you an opposite, which is fine,
That's true.
but how do you work that out, the things that you want on your list, and the person may not meet all of that. So, and that's one of the interesting things about the show, right? You have to kind of let go of all that and trust the process. Is that, I think that's
Yeah.
one of Pastor Kyle's favorite segments, right? Trust the process. And over, this is season 12, they've had I don't know what the statistics are, but uh some successful couples that have been around.
Yeah.
So I think if you truly are trusting the process and going in with an open mind, that it could work. So what do you think
She
about
gonna have to
Vincent? What are your
compromise. She gonna have to compromise. That's all I'm gonna say. And I don't know how she gonna do it. So I guess that just leads us right on into Vincent with
Yeah,
his
what were your thoughts on
homeboy.
him?
Oh my god. So
Oh,
Vincent is cute. I thought he
he's
was
cute.
cute. I can't tell what he is. I mean that might be too deep, but I couldn't tell like if he was black, Spanish,
So the
mixed,
last name was
white.
Morales. So I'm going
Oh,
to
his name was
assume
okay. So he's
that
mixed.
there's some
Mixture
Latin
in there.
flavor up in there in him.
Yeah.
But
Because he had
he
a
was
lot of black friends. So I was like, he leads to probably the black side. That's probably why they connected him with a black lady. Because in the past season, you don't see a lot of mixture. It's usually white with white, black with black, and then that's
right.
it. So I kind of like this season that you seen a little mixture because love is love. People love all flavors, all sizes. So I kind of like seeing that. So
So
that was
let's just let the viewers know we started watching Married at First Sight last summer when we were all
in quarantine.
basically, right?
And she got
And
me in this show. Miss Ashuantay got me in this show because I was just like, what
what?
you watching?
No, you told me about it. Although I had seen a previous season, but you and your husband, shout out to Ralph, were watching it and you told me about it. And that's when I started watching
So what did you get? Oh, you got me into 90 Day.
90 Day Fiance. Yeah, that
Okay.
probably was
I
me.
was like, what did you get me into? I don't know who got me into this show then. I don't know. Maybe my sister. I don't know. Okay.
But I just wanted to let viewers know. So we've been watching. We went back. We started what season 9, I think, and then went back watched
Yes.
some of the previous seasons. I haven't watched all of them.
We haven't either. We're almost, I think there's 2 seasons we still haven't watched yet.
Okay. But
Yeah.
we've been watching for a while. So we've, as Lori was saying, that the previous seasons, they all stuck with the same race,
Yeah.
the husband and wives. So not to give anything away, but this season is a little different. They match up some couples that um not totally outside of their race, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
So Vincent,
Yes.
I like Vincent. I actually like them as a couple. My first
Okay.
impressions, I think the experts did a good job in putting them together.
Okay.
Vincent is a auto broker. He wants a family, so he's been talking about wanting to get married and build that legacy that he wants. So I thought he was a good catch for Brianna, but I am ashamed to say this: when he was at the table telling his friends
Uh-huh.
about the engagement, it was that one friend with like the dick, the fastest. I kind of spent most of
I
that
was like,
time
who gonna
looking.
say it? Let's just put it on the table. They put it on TV,
Sorry.
so we got to talk about it. What?
I was like, wow, I had not seen glasses that thick in so long. Cause like technology, we've come a long ways. But wow. But
I'm
sorry,
sorry,
sorry to
Lord.
the
Don't say
friend.
it. I'm
But
sorry.
that kind of had my attention during that whole part. But back to the topic, I do think that they're a good couple. So they're my couple to watch right now. For
I
this episode.
have my first instinct as a no.
No, really.
No, I'm not feeling it. I like Vincent. I like Brianna separate. I don't know if I'm feeling them together. And that's why I said this is the first episode. You didn't see that much of them separately.
No.
Some of the other couples, some of the other um, uh, people got a little bit more shine this episode. So I guess we'll have to wait and see. But my first instinct, ain't gonna work.
Okay. Well, again, this is the first episode. These are first impressions.
I
But
know.
together I can see them. I want to see what happens with them.
Okay.
So let's move to the next couple. I have on my list Virginia and Eric.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
26. Virginia's 26. Eric is 34.
yes.
Why? Go ahead. Go ahead with Virginia. Lord Jesus.
Virginia is the fun loving party girl.
Yep, that's
And
what I wrote.
she was very honest in talking about her attachment issues.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's definitely going to be something to watch in regards to her relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Um, 26. So I also feel like from watching previous episodes, most of the people on the show are in their early to late 20s.
Yes.
Personally, I feel like that's the time frame that you need to be enjoying life, dating, and doing whatever. I think those in the later 30s, when you're a little bit more settled, then I think this is like the perfect thing to do. So I'm
Right.
always kind of a little weary about those in their 20s, especially those that are the party people. They're
Yeah.
now trying to look to settle down and get married. I feel like
Right.
it's
And
not out
she's
their
been
system.
single. Right. She's been single for 5 years. So now you wanna like settle down and you're still like young. Enjoy it.
Very
Like, don't worry about everything else.
Right. And then to match her with Eric, who is a pilot and he's in the Air Force Reserves. He's divorced. He likes to travel a lot because with being a pilot and
Mm-hmm.
everything,
Mm-hmm.
I did not see them as a match. Like just
No,
from
he's gonna
watching
be
them,
gone all the time. How that
yeah,
work?
I don't see how this one's gonna work. Um,
I think I also wrote down for Eric that he was super cheesy. And maybe that maybe she'll like that. But I can see this getting old real quick. That she gonna be out partying with her friends, he gonna be in the air, and they just not gonna be able to connect very well. My
yeah.
only thing is I wonder if this is gonna come out during the what is it? Is it 6 weeks, 8 weeks? I don't know how many weeks they got to go through this process. I don't know if they've extended it, but maybe he's taking some time off and he won't be working as much. So will they be able to explore that this during the before the decision day? I don't know.
Well, I think that's a great point because it's usually an 8 week period.
8 weeks.
Last season got extended because of COVID. They're taping, they taped this still in the middle of the pandemic. So travel was
Oh
lessened,
yeah.
right? So I'm thinking he probably is not working as much as he was. So this does give them time to get to know each other. But as you said, once things get back in full gear and he's back traveling and working, yeah, what how's that, how is Virginia going to be able to adapt to that?
Yeah.
And that party girl spirit, I don't think is leaving no time soon. So I don't see this one working. Plus, neither one of their parents were thrilled about this.
No.
I think that's also
No.
a good clue because some parents, they're, they want the traditional, they're used to the traditional way of things, but they're still supportive. And
Right.
not that these parents weren't supportive, but they still were kind of like,
What are
what?
you
Are you
doing?
sure?
Right.
I think that's important. I think it's very important to have your family there beside you. And so I I'm not sure about this couple, but we'll see. There was a previous couple in a previous season that I sure didn't think they were gonna make it. And
Ooh,
who Charlotte, gosh, bald head dude, the girl with the red
the
hair.
red hair.
Yes,
Yes, they are still going strong
still
out
going
in
strong.
California. I be listen, y'all. These people are my friends now, so I Google them every couple of months just to see are they still together? Are they still working out? I love this show so much. I just be like, oh, what they doing? Love them.
We're
So yeah,
invested.
that is true. But for this Virginia and Eric,
No. And
not gonna. I don't see this at. Or this would be a huge shocker to me. Not happening. Nope. Can't
well,
do it.
we will see. We will see.
So we gonna move on to page 26 and Chris 27. I don't even know if we should do this one yet because you
You
over
want to
here
save this one for
talking.
last?
Oh,
Listen, I got like a
you
half
know
a
what?
page of notes
No,
on
no,
Chris
no. We gonna
alone.
skip. We gonna skip Chris. Hold on. We gonna skip this. We gonna go to Haley and Jacob. So Haley's
Okay.
28. Jacob is 38. Haley, both of them to me, all I got is a big boring circle around it. I was just like, who, huh? What? If the whole show was wrapped around them, it'll just be like, why?
Snooze
And
fest.
hopefully they spice it up a little bit, give them a little bit backstory or drama or something. Because I was just like, just go off and enjoy your life. Don't even cover them. They'll be all right. Haley 28. She's been single for 7 years. She's been a bridesmaid so many times. I would just be like, don't ask me
Ever again.
no more.
Ever
Okay.
again.
I'll come to your wedding, but I'm not going through all of this.
Right.
Okay. Ridiculous.
I think she said 12 or 14 times she's been a
It's
bridesmaid. I'm
ridiculous.
sorry. After like the fourth time, I'm just gonna just sit this one out. I'm
They were
supporting you
just
from
like,
afar. I wave at you
Haley,
from the from sitting in the audience. But yeah, I
they were like, Haley ain't doing nothing. Just come on in. You ain't doing it. You ain't got no kids. Just come on. Just buy this dress. You look cute. They just stand in the way. I'm not doing that. Not doing it.
Not at all.
Mm-mm. And her friend was getting on my husband's nerves.
Listen, I have that written down. Don't like Lauren, friend. I have that written down. I did not care for her either. I'm like, oh my gosh. And she's like straight shading her like through that
Yeah.
whole little process. Yeah. I was like, maybe it's the alcohol because they were drinking, but
No,
I don't
because she
think so.
went to the dress fitting. She was the only one there at the dress fitting with her mom. And I was just like, girl. He's like, are you okay with this? Is this weird? Is this shut up, girl? Let this girl get married finally. Be happy for her.
Hey, she probably was a bridesmaid at her wedding. Now she don't want her to be
And
a
you know, trying
bride.
to see when she married, she had rings on. So I was like, girl, just let the lady be happy. Shoot. Shut up.
Yep, I didn't care for her at all.
Oh, Lord.
Jacob,
Okay. Go ahead.
Jacob was such a nerd. I kind of felt like he was like the old dude that wanted to still be young with the hair and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah. I
Um,
agree.
when he was sitting at the table with his friends, I thought that was the one lady. I thought that was his like mom or somebody. They all look so much
Older.
older than what
Yeah.
they are.
Yeah.
Um, hashtag Black don't crack. So being such a nerd and his personality, I actually thought that he may be a better match for Virginia. But I think the age would have been an issue. But
Yeah.
I'm wondering if no, you don't agree?
Virginia don't need no match. Virginia needs to live her life till she's
I
about
agree.
32.
I
She
agree.
don't need nobody on this show.
Which is why I'm always like, why did they choose her? Or why did they choose him? I
That is
mean,
interesting. I wish they would have a little bit more information on the selection of why they even pick them to be matched and why did they even match them. Sometimes they give little hints, but she just seems so young. She, there's people that are in their 20s that are super mature.
right.
You know what I mean? So yeah, you need to connect them with someone who's more mature. But I'm not seeing that for Virginia.
Me either. Me either.
This girl was drunk. We can't even talk about it yet.
Wait,
We'll
hold
get
hold
there.
that thought.
We'll get there. We'll get there. I'm sorry. So Jacob, I agree with you. He's like I wrote down nerd geek, but then he's also a jock because he wants to work out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think he's handy. He has his dog. He is the quintessential reason why they have this show. You are 38 years old. You've never been married. You don't go nowhere. You don't go to no
Right.
bar, no restaurant, no movies, no nothing. So you're not gonna meet nobody. This show is made for you, right? I think him and Haley can make it work.
You think they could make it? I'm not. I think they probably could make it work too. They're just going to be the very vanilla couple, and it's going to be very boring.
Boring.
Yeah.
Just go tell us at the end how y'all worked out because we don't need to follow you. I just said y'all will work. It's a great match, but we don't need to have your whole story. You don't need to be in the mix. Like for what? I don't know why.
Yes, I agree. Okay, so there's 5 couples total on this season. So we've covered 3. We have
Yes.
2 more.
Yes.
The next one we're gonna talk about is Clara and Ryan. Clara is
Mm-hmm.
27 years old. She's the sassy, spunky person. She's a flight attendant, and I put that she's the fun girl. She's to me the equivalent of like her and Virginia seem like they would probably get along and party together.
That's what I
Like
put too until later.
yes,
Yeah, that's what I put too.
until
Exactly
later.
what I put.
But those are my thoughts with her. Ryan, 29 years old, he is confident and calculated.
Mm-hmm.
And the first thing I wrote is this hair. What is going on with his hair? And for visual, let me also add this, which maybe helps understand
Ooh,
why I
sorry.
said that. What happened?
I was laughing at Ryan. Can y'all still see me?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead.
But I also wrote, what is he? And not that race is always important, but it just kind of helps
Is it you want to know?
who that person is, right?
Right.
And how to figure out who they are. So I'm looking at him like he looks black, but he definitely could be mixed. He could be Hispanic. I don't really know.
Mm-hmm.
So we learn out later that he does identify as black,
Mm-hmm.
which I actually was kind of surprised to hear that. And he lived in rural areas, so he was always kind of like the one of two or three black kids in his high school growing up, which I think leads you to know what's going to happen later. Um, but I think as a couple, I don't know about those two. I don't really have any notes written down on whether I think they will work or not.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I'm interested to see what happens between the two of them. What were your thoughts?
I think so. Clara, I kind of wrote the same thing. She's super social. She's the talker of the group. She gonna be
Yes.
yakking and yakking it up, right? She just seems like a lot to take, but maybe Ryan is that kind of quiet, sensitive type that can kind of, you know, anchor her down a little
Hmm.
bit. But then she can kind of make him a little bit more fun,
Like
right?
that, where the opposites attract. So
I
you're,
think yes. Even though my first instinct is still no, I could
oh,
see how it could work out a little bit. I also too was wondering about his race, and when he said he identifies black, and then we saw his brother, I was like, okay, I think these people could be black. They're just like on the lighter side, or maybe mixed like way back, you know. But I think I saw the difference between him and his brother. He
oh,
looks
two different
like
people.
yeah, he looks like he has more white friends. He probably is in that circle. He probably likes white women. That's why they connected him with a white woman, which that's not a problem. But it looks like his brother is more on the black side, super quiet, and he just looks annoyed every time he's around him and his
I'm
friends.
like, I don't even think he spoke at all through any of the
He had a
scenes.
couple words. We tried
He,
to count. He had about 5, 6 words
oh, really?
total.
I don't remember that. But
Total.
Ryan did mention something about his parents when they came, something alluding to when they came to this country. So they're
Mm-hmm.
from another country, but he
Oh,
didn't
I missed
mention
that.
where. So
Okay.
that is, I think, tells you a little bit of his background again when
Right.
he came here. Ended up moving to a rural area where they were like probably the only black family,
Mm-hmm.
so you kind of become accustomed, right?
Right.
And to that area. In their background clip, they made sure to mention how he dated a white woman before and how a white woman came up to him, was like, you guys should not be dating and doing all
Oh,
of that. So I think that was the first clue that they were going to be matching him with a white
white
woman.
woman.
And that's what he likes.
That's
And
what
again,
he likes.
that's
That
what
could
you
be.
like. That's
You
fine.
gotta say what you like. I'm sure this process, the amount of questions they ask you about who, like the type of people you like, the stuff you like to do, I'm sure all of that's been vetted because they're not gonna
Right.
put you with someone that you think is garbage. Well, hopefully that you think is garbage or someone you would never ever ever date. So there's
Right.
got to
Right.
be something that they're matching.
And
So
I was
yeah,
wondering with Clara, what did she say in her interview process? Like, did she say she was open to all races,
I'm
all
sure.
of that?
Yeah.
And spoiler alert, she does say later that, oh, I want a racially ambiguous guy. And it was like, well, voila, there you go. We're not expecting her to say that, but I think she obviously let him know what she was looking for. You don't remember hearing that?
I think I might have been glazing over on hour number 3. Was that
Yeah,
in
this was
hour?
like the last 30 minutes of right
Yeah,
before they got married. She said
yeah,
it. So, if you've been watching from the beginning by now, you probably was getting sleepy.
yeah. And then I couldn't fast forward. Oh,
Oh yeah. Hate that
yeah.
part.
So I was glazing over. So I apologize if I messed up, but you got your notes, so I'll
I got
piggyback off of
mine.
that. So
Okay.
last couple.
Ooh, child.
Back to Paige and Chris. Page 26, Chris 27. Okay. Paige is, I was gonna put air quotes around religious, but I'll just say religious. Paige is religious and she ready to have a family right away. I
Right
think she's
away.
ready for that life. She's probably been, she said she was like always wanting a family since she was a little girl. She's just that person that's ready to move on to the next phase.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember exactly what she did for a living.
She was
Uh,
an accountant and a realtor.
oh yeah, she's a realtor. Yes, I remember that now. And so she looked like she got her house, she got her stuff, other stuff in order so that she
Right.
can be ready for her family. So she's doing things the right way. I don't fault Paige for none of that. She got body yada 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 yada
Girl,
yada yada yada
I
yada
got
yada
big
yada
booty
yada.
written down.
She got body, okay?
She
And she's
does.
my type of girl. She be wearing wigs, okay? I be wearing wigs. Just that's me. And my hair is not no wigs today, but I be wearing wigs. So I'm feeling Paige in terms of style and that body, okay? So
Yes.
that's my first impression of Paige. What did you think?
Same thing. Like I said, I wrote down big booty in describing her. I love she definitely is destined for love. And that's the little quotes that they put underneath the names of
Yeah,
the couples, the individual.
yeah.
Being an accountant and realtor, she's definitely got her stuff together. She's
Mm-hmm.
ready at 26. I think she, like you said, she has her life together. She's ready to start her family, and she's, I think, is another person that the show would be ideal for. Like, you're ready, you probably have
Yeah,
dated. We all have heard the dating horror stories of Atlanta, so I think this is where um a show like this really could help out a person. I
mm-hmm.
also wrote down picky, and I'm interested to see how that's going to work. And I think that comes from the conversation she was having with her family when she told them she was getting engaged,
Mm-hmm.
and her brother was
I
talking
like her
to her.
brother.
Oh, I
I
liked him
like
too.
him.
I liked him too, but he was like, "Well, what about this and remember that?" And she was kind of like, that puzzled look on her face,
Yeah.
because he's like, "What if the person is ugly and overweight and whatever? Are you
Mm-hmm.
really ready? Are you?" And think those are all valid questions. But
I think
I
so
loved him and
too.
how he was able to engage with her in the
Yeah.
conversation. So
And then
I
so
like her.
aren't we all kind of picky until we find the person that we're willing to compromise for?
Yeah.
Like when you're thinking in the clouds and you don't actually have a face to put to a name, you're just like, yeah, I want this, I want that, I want this, all this kind of stuff. And then you find somebody, your personalities kind of mesh together, you have similar goals. A lot of stuff you're just like, well,
That's not as
you
important
know,
as I
but
thought it
your
was.
major, right, your major key things that you want in a person matches, you'll be willing to compromise like the little tiny nuances, I think. I think
Right,
so.
right. So part of our show, we're going to be talking about our own reality. So I want you later to talk about that and your process in marrying your husband, and maybe what your list was and what you were able to identify that you
Who,
said,
me?
okay, I can give that out. Yes, you.
Oh, I
So
thought you were telling people to put that in the comment
no,
section.
no, no,
Y'all go
you.
ahead.
I'm sorry. No, I'm asking you. Remember,
Okay,
we're talking all things
okay,
reality, so including
okay.
our own lives to a
Woo!
certain point, to a certain
All right,
point.
all right, all
But
right.
yes, our viewers as well, put in the comments certain things that maybe over your dating life that you've realized, oh, he had to have this, but then the person you found didn't. And how did you compromise? How were you willing to let those things go? So
Right.
yeah, chat with us in the comment section, and we'll also put our email address. Send us your stories. We also want to do an advice set mix. So send in your
Yeah,
questions. Lori gives great advice, so she's gonna respond back to your
she does
questions.
too.
So check
100%.
the details below. We'll put our email address there. Okay, so now Chris,
Ugh,
I'm gonna let you go
your
first on this one.
favorites.
Go
Okay,
ahead.
yeah, because you got pages and pages. I just said Chris was a little bit flashy. He kind of reminds me of Woody a
Oh,
little bit.
Woody's
Woody was
from season
from
11.
season 11. Woody to me was flashy in a way that I thought was cute. Chris was more like, okay, all right, yeah, okay. We see that you got on, shoes with no socks. I get it, whatever. So it was a bit much for me, but he came out talking about he wants 7 kids.
Whew.
He's religious.
Mm,
He has been engaged twice before. Last one being 3 months
3 months ago.
before you signed up for this show, sir.
You're not ready.
What is happening, Chris?
You're not ready.
I don't understand. I feel like he's flying by the wind and he just wants something. I don't know if it's his parents. We didn't see his parents,
No, it's his
grandparents.
grandparents. Hmm.
I don't know if he's trying to be like, listen, all these people around me are married, so I want to be like them. But I feel like he's just rushing into stuff. So I don't know how that's going to be. Hopefully, with Paige, she can kind of ground him because I was thinking that this could actually kind of work. I don't know. So you tell me how you feel about Chris.
So, first thing I have written, again, they put these little taglines underneath each person, and his was blessed with the
Blessed
dollar
with
signs at the S's. I hated that.
I hate it too.
I hated that. I'm
I
like,
hate it
I don't
too.
know. Do they select their own taglines or do the show develop them for them? I don't know, but I hate
I
it.
think it's probably a combination. This show is
I'm sure they have some input. Yeah.
heavily produced. So I can see them coming up with something and maybe talking it over with him. He was like, you know what would be cool? Instead of the two S's, put two little dollar signs because I got that bank.
I agree. So that was the very first thing I wrote about him. His profession, he is a finance. Oh, I forgot what I have written. Something with finance manager, something like
I
that,
don't know.
and a
Sure.
restaurant. He owns a restaurant.
Yeah, I thought that
Um,
was really cool. Like when they were doing his little bio that he owns a restaurant, I was like, okay, I kind of like that.
I like that too, especially with Paige being so driven and everything. I was like, okay, two driven people who are
Right,
about that money and making sure they are financially set. I like that about them. I thought
right.
that makes them a good match. But then he started talking about his backstory. He was a preacher. He left, he was an ordained minister, but he left the ministry because he wasn't making no money. He ended up in Miami, homeless, living out of a rental car, but he was able to save money up. And then he got this 6-figure job, moved back to Atlanta.
Mhm.
And then when he was talking about the women that he would like, it was all superficial things. He said they had to be freaky, good in
Yep,
bed.
yep.
I was just like, I don't know. And then with the engagements and stuff in the past, I'm like, he's too impulsive, I think. I don't
He
know
is.
if
And
that is going
I
to
could
work.
see him signing up for a show like this because that's how he is. Super flashy and he's super quick with decisions, but I don't think it's well thought out in a lot of ways.
And the pastor, so there's this pastor that he has been talking to. I'm wondering if that's a family member or if he's I don't know what's that about, but he was there when he told about the engagement, and then he went to meet with him one on one.
Hmm.
And the pastor did touch on that about, do you make quick decisions and things like that. And I thought he actually gave very good advice to him. Um, but
He
I
did.
oh, the voice. I forgot to mention that. I don't know what it
His
was
voice?
about Chris's voice. It in the back of my mind, it was just kind of annoying me a little. I don't know why. It just
Okay.
it was just annoying me just a little bit. But yeah, so
Well,
those
you
are
said
my
he reminded you of
yeah, I was going to say that later. It popped in my head later that he reminded me of Brandon, his
Brandon.
voice from season 10,
10?
I think, DC.
10.
DC.
Mm.
He gives me all Brandon vibes. He gives me F boy vibes,
But I
honestly.
think Brandon was worse than Chris.
I'm not saying Brandon wasn't worse, but they both give me the same vibe. And
Okay.
so those are red flags for me.
Right.
So I put I'm getting warning signs
Right.
about this one. I'm not sure, but again, it's the first episode. Maybe he grows. Um
I don't know about that.
oh
But
yes.
can we go back to the pastor first? Hold on.
Okay,
Before you
okay.
get too far. This pastor and his hairline, I couldn't even hear the rest of what he was talking about. Did you not see this man's hairline? It looked like a
I
jawline
wasn't
right
paying
here.
attention.
Right here was just a big old line almost touching his eyebrow. Girl, let me take a marker and just
No.
I was about done. I was like, why does it look like that? Why? And then when they showed showed the pastor later, he looked like he cleaned it up. I don't know, maybe that was a bad day. Maybe that
Oh.
was super fresh. And then it had to like slowly, kind of fade out. Because that first one, I was just like, absolutely not. What's going on here? So I missed a little bit of that conversation, that good advice, because I just got distracted. So
Yeah,
okay,
no, I
continue.
thought he gave
I'm
him
sorry.
pretty good advice.
Okay.
What I do want to note, and let's put a pin here just for future shows, we have to come back to it.
Mm-hmm.
Chris mentioned that he wanted to be celibate. He didn't expect to
Oh
sleep with his wife
yes,
on the
yes.
first night. He was going to wait because in the past when he slept with people, things didn't go. They got too attached, things didn't work out. So this
Mm-hmm.
time he's going to change it, right? He's going to wait till he's married, but not on the honeymoon or the same night
So,
to have
so
sex.
what he said, the wedding night and the whole honeymoon, he wasn't gonna sleep with her.
I don't remember if he said the whole honeymoon, but for sure not the first night. He's not going in thinking that they're going to be having sex like right
Okay.
away.
Well, that's most of the men on here say the same thing. That first night, it's up to the woman. Like,
Mm-mm.
we just met each other, but I would think that's strange. Your whole honeymoon, you are actually married this time, other than other situations. So I would think you would just see how it is, not just, determine I'm not going to do that. You know?
Right, right.
Yeah. Okay.
But we'll put that little pin there because the previews leading up sounds like there's some things that's going to happen. So we'll come back to that. Okay, well, we've met all of the 5 couples for this season.
Wait, you didn't say if it was a yes or a no for Paige and Chris.
Oh, I'll say I have warning signs. I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure
So
about
you're a
them yet.
maybe.
Huh?
You're a maybe on them.
I'm a maybe. I'm a
Okay.
maybe. I think, like I said, them both being very driven with their careers and kind of being set, I guess I'll say, and ready. Paige is ready. I'm not so sure about the Chris. Um,
I think he is ready for the thought of marriage.
okay, I agree. I agree with that for sure. I agree with that for sure.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So we'll see. But like you said, sometimes it takes another person to balance you out.
Yeah.
So with that being said, maybe Paige can be that person that can kind of help bring him down a notch,
Mm-hmm.
but match his fly and all of that. Just like um oh gosh, like went blank on all these people's names. Last
Ooh,
season, Woody's wife,
Amani.
Amani, yes,
Mm-hmm.
with how Amani did. Like, love them,
Yeah.
love them.
I
So
still love that.
I think for sure that maybe it could possibly work. But right now I have some red flags, some warning signs. So we'll see. We'll see
Yeah.
what happens. Okay, so the rest of the show, then we went to the meetup. So the girls all met up at one place to introduce themselves and things like that. And then the
Right.
guys all met up at one place. Um, so again, my first notes are I'm not feeling Chris. His voice is annoying to me. And then this is where I wrote down that is when I had my aha moment of who he reminded me of, which was
Oh,
Brandon.
okay.
So we just covered
Yeah.
that part.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's who he reminds me of. And again, I think he's very superficial on things. So mm, we'll see the
Yeah.
rest.
Chris and Matt, I know we didn't get there yet. Well, no, I'll just let you go there. But it looks like the girls meet up more than one time. Like the girls meet up twice,
Yes.
and
Hmm.
then the guys only meet once, right?
I only
Unless I
remember them
missed it.
at like were they at the pool table or like at a bar or
They were
something
at a
like that?
restaurant. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They
Yeah, I
were at
only
a
remember
restaurant.
one time as well.
Yeah. So the girls met twice, and that's where I thought Clara and Virginia could be really good friends until the bachelorette party. We'll get there.
Ooh.
But
We'll be getting there real soon.
yeah,
Yes, so I agree. I agree. I saw that too. I think it was Clara, right? She bought lingerie for all the girls.
then that was the second meetup, which I thought that was strange. I
Me
don't want
too.
you buying me lingerie. I don't know you. And it was like a weird way because then it was just a whole bunch of it, and people were like, I'll take this and
Yeah,
you take
because I
that.
think Paige and Brianna in a swapping something. I
Yeah,
don't know. Yeah,
I
it
was
seemed
like, what
weird
is
too. It
this?
was
Like,
very
I
weird.
guess they were trying to do something so they can have a reason to meet again, but go get your nails done or something. Don't buy me no dang lingerie. No, just say that. Okay. So So I
Yeah.
wasn't really feeling that whole thing. But what I love these seasons because it's the later seasons that they started this whole let's make everybody friends kind of thing.
Mhm.
And I loved season 11 for this. They actually look like friends. The guys look like friends, the girls look like friends, the couples seem like friends. I'm not really feeling the group dynamic with the girls or the guys. It's just like it's just okay, and maybe of course they're just meeting for the first time, so it's gonna grow. But
Mhm.
season 11 just seems so natural that everybody was like
Click.
on the same level. They were cool. They was hanging out randomly. I mean, it probably wasn't random, but I just like the dynamic of the entire cast. Right?
I agree.
I'm not feeling these little meetups. I'm just like it's like they're forcing conversation. They're having like these one-off things and the confessionals. I'm not feeling them. Mm-mm.
Yeah, I agree. And I do like too that they put them together because they are all going through the same thing. Like it's kind of
Mm-hmm.
hard to be talking to your friends who
About
never
this.
got married to a stranger and
Right.
you're like have to you're getting to know somebody but you're already married to them, like, so I do like that. And with the later seasons how they all live in this, they give them a
Yes.
neutral place to live, so they
Yes.
give them an apartment, they move in right after the honeymoon,
Mm-hmm.
and all the other couples are in the same building as well. So I like that. It really is kind of like a community. They can build a
Yeah, they go
community
on a
and
honeymoon.
together talk
I
about.
love all of that. That's like great.
Yeah.
It's good content. It's just good to like everything is great about that. And so let me see what I have. Um, I had that Paige was talking about her husband being tested
Oh,
before they had sex.
in the
And it was
papers.
so strange because even the other girls was just like, so how are you gonna get that done on the wedding night if you're like, I'm open to it? How can you be open to something you don't know what he has? He's like, well, if you're planning on being sexually active, I would think you already have that information. Like nobody has that in their back pocket. Like, by the way,
Let me
here's
pull
my
out.
negative test. No. So it was just contradictory. And I think that's why I kind of did the whole air quotes thing. Because I feel like she's trying so hard to say, I'm doing everything right. I'm doing it, as a Christian or whatever. But then you're also having you're just, I don't know. She just, I think she's trying to live in two different worlds. And just
Mm,
be you. You just if you don't want to have sex with somebody, don't have sex with them. If you want their test results, I don't know when you're gonna get that done because you go on a honeymoon the
mm,
day after they get
yeah.
married. How? And you want a baby right away. You don't know if you're gonna have a honeymoon baby. How? So sorry. That was my little thing on
A little rant
Paige.
there. Okay. No, I agree. I thought the paper thing, which, in theory, we all should be checking each other's papers before we
It should be.
get into
That
the act.
that
But
ain't
yes,
happening.
how often do you really ask for the other person's status before you
Not unless they
actually.
look sketchy, and then why are you sleeping with them? I don't know. I don't know why.
Yeah. So
But yeah,
that was.
that was just weird to me.
Yeah, it made me also wonder, like, because of the process, do they require them to do any kind of testing like that? But it
Oh
seemed like so personal and private, but you kind of are you putting all your stuff out there to the world. You can't be too private anymore. So,
no. You
I mean,
have
it's
to
still
do
your
that.
personal health information, but I don't know. I just, for the safety, I guess what I would say, and making sure, say, a person is not knowingly trying to,
Spread some.
what'd you say?
Spread something to
Yeah,
people.
yeah. I was about to say, give HIV or whatever. Yes. Like I could maybe see the show requiring to at least get some kind of testing done, but I've never heard that before in previous seasons. So
Mhm.
I don't
But I
know.
mean, you have to do like, what if there's a criminal? Like, what if it's
Background
somebody
check,
who's been
right?
accused of rape or something or stalking? Like, I would think you would have to do that kind of background check. So why can't you do a health check to make sure that you're not shacking these people up? Well, not shacking because they're married, but you're not putting these people in a dangerous situation.
Right.
I think they
And we
do
know
something.
they do a background check because in a previous season, there was this one chick who they couldn't go on the honeymoon. She got
Oh,
arrested at the airport. And It turns
We
out they
talking
did a
about
background
Mia.
check, but the
If you
charges
don't,
or whatever
this is
hadn't
Mia.
been cleared. I don't know what the terminology, but it didn't pop up in her background check.
Right, right.
So we know they do the background check.
That's
So
true.
yes, I would think they would also require some kind of health as well, just to be sure
Mm.
that everybody is
Fingers crossed,
clear.
please.
So next, let's see. Oh, we went dress shopping and
Oh
tuxedo
yes,
shopping.
yes.
Um, was there a dress that stood out to you or any particular thing that stood out for you doing
I
any
mean,
of the
I guess going back to Brianna and her being super reserved, her dress was like really plain,
Yeah, she said she
really
didn't want a
simple,
simple dress, but then the
but
dress ended up
she
being simple.
it is simple. I can tell she's kind of like super reserved. Like Vincent's gonna have to like spice her up, shake her a little bit, so she can have. But she has a little goofy side. I saw it at the dress shopping with her roommate or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So she has a little bit of a goofy side, but she's still super like, this is me. I loved her hair. I told you, hair goals.
Yeah.
Love that little bun, like swoop back to the back. So cute.
Your bun looking cute too, girl. Mine never look at like that, but so you my
I'm
hair goes
trying
at this
some.
moment.
I'm trying some little hair journey. You know. So yeah. So I didn't see anything big. I didn't gain anything big from the try-ons. I know there was that little surprise thing with Virginia's stepmom, but I think that was in hour three again, and I didn't even write anything down for the dress shopping. It was
Yeah, I didn't really have anything either. There was nothing worth really talking about.
mm-mm.
Tuxedo shopping, I think those I like Vincent's. He did a little with the blue
Oh,
suit
okay.
tux. That was cute. I think
Yeah,
that shows part of his personality. So like you said, he may pull that out of Brianna so
yeah.
that she's not so reserved. So again, I think that's a good match. And then here comes your boy Chris with his shoes.
And then he went to like the fanciest little whatever he was. He was totally different than the rest of the shops. You could tell it was like all the way flashy, flash, flash, flash. Like I gotta go all out. And then the dude that he brought, his friend, so I used to live in Atlanta. He looks so familiar. I don't know who this guy is, but he looks so familiar. I was like gonna try to Google him, but I was like, how am I gonna Google? But he looks super familiar. But that was
Probably
all
ran into
cool.
him.
So
It's
yeah.
funny you say that because I actually now I see I had a note saying that page looks familiar to me. And I don't know if she just reminds me of someone. Maybe she's
Mm,
been on another reality TV show. I don't know,
maybe.
but she started looking familiar to me at the dress shop when I was looking at her. So
Okay.
that's interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really have anything else regarding that. That was actually boring. So let's get to the Bachelor and Bachelorette
Oh
party.
Lord, Chris and this blow up doll that
What
had
in the
mask
world?
on.
What in the
I
world?
loved every minute of it. I loved every because they looked so bored in there. It was not. See, I keep going back to season 11. That bachelor party was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
It was good.
The funniest thing. And then you have this season. It's just a whole bunch of dudes standing around. They
There's
didn't look like they were
strippers in
really
cages
having fun.
there, but it still looked so boring. Like
It
it was like
did.
nobody was interacting with the strippers. It was boring.
It was so boring. Then he came in there late with a blow up doll, with a mask, and they had so much fun with that blow up doll after he came. I loved every bit. I was like, yes, Chris, I kind of like you now. I know Shantae doesn't like you, but it's
Mm,
okay. I kind of
mm.
like you now because I thought that was fun. Like this is your party. You want to, enjoy it. Y'all just look like
I agree. I agree. I thought that was kind of weird, but it did liven up the party. But who did go down a notch in my book was
uh
Vincent.
oh, uh-oh. Vincent, why are you talking to the strippers like that?
Over out,
Why?
that's okay. You go and converse with the stripper, but then he's like telling someone that he wants to get that. Huh?
I think he was just a little nervous. He's on TV. He probably
You
like
on
had a
TV. Why would you say that and you're on TV and you're about to get married tomorrow?
Okay, so would you be mad about that if you found out about that later? If you're Brianna, and you find out he was at his bachelor party right before he was supposed to get married, and he's trying to sleep with the stripper.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
I'm trying to think what I mean. I don't think I would be mad. He don't even know you. I don't think I'd
But
be mad.
you've committed to this process and
Okay.
committed to get married to
Yes.
me, even though you don't know who I am. So why are you now trying to have your last one? I just feel like it would be so embarrassing to later watch this and see that you did that. Like talking, yeah, okay, whatever, enjoy yourself. But to be like, you want to hit that and all of that, yeah, yeah, that's too much for
I don't
me.
think that would make me mad. Now, if you knew me and you knew you committed to me, Lori, and we were dating or whatever, or let's say you just know my information, we met each other, and then you do that, then I'd be like, okay, that means you don't like me. But he don't know this lady. He's just hedging his bets. Like, what if tomorrow turns out to be a blank show? And at least I got this girl's number.
No. Again, commitment. You've committed to this process. You've committed to me, even if you do not know me.
Yeah,
So there's no getting numbers. There's no trying to talk to strippers and trying to
yeah,
hit that. No,
yeah. I
that's
guess it doesn't. I don't know why it doesn't bother me. Yeah.
mm,
But yeah, I can see how that's gonna come back up. That's not gonna be good. He was trying
for
to touch me.
sure.
But yeah,
Okay, so we're coming towards the end of the 3 hour show. Now we're at the first wedding of five.
yeah.
Clara and Ryan are getting married. The
But it's
first,
before, so the first wedding of five is about to happen, but they went through the whole process of everybody getting ready, right? Or
yeah, they
three
show
couples get
snippets of
ready.
it. Yes.
Three cups. So one of the things I wanted to talk about, which I thought was like, I don't know, I feel like they set this up. That's why I said the show's heavily produced. But when Paige was talking about becoming, the Mrs. whatever my new
Blank.
last name is going to be,
Mm-hmm.
she was actually standing in front of a sign that said her last name.
Oh, really? I didn't catch
Yes.
that.
So she was they're in downtown Atlanta, and there's a sign William Street, and that's gonna be her name because I think that's Chris's last name. That's why I was wondering if he was like Jamaican or something because that's a big Jamaican last name. So it said Williams on the back. I was like, that's so funny that she was like, I'm about to become Mrs. Such and such's last name and blah blah blah. And I was just like, your last name is right there, girl.
I kind of think that's cute though for
I thought
producers
it
to
was
set it
cute.
up like that. But I thought you were alluding that she already knew the last name
No,
and
no, no, no,
that
no, no.
set up.
I
Okay.
think I think it's a setup because I didn't see anybody else outside having a confessional. And then you see like the street name was a little blurred in the back, but I was like, that's her last name. So
Ah,
cute.
see, I didn't even
So
catch
cute.
that one. I think
So yeah.
that's cute.
Yeah. And what did you think about the Ryan and Clara is gonna get married? What did you think about the blindfold idea? Because I thought that was a show idea. I didn't know that was his idea. What do you think
So
about
in
that?
theory, I think it's cute, but being practical, if I'm getting my wedding day, my hair and my makeup done, I'm not trying to put a blindfold on.
Absolutely not.
No. Maybe they
Absolutely
could have met before the wedding and had a little moment, with the
not.
blindfolds or something, but to walk down the aisle blindfolded, no, no. It's cute, but no.
But what would you what? Because at this point, it's already happening. So what would you be like? Nah, I'm not doing it. You'd be a
I
diva
don't
and you'd
know.
be like, nah, I'm not doing it. Or can we talk about? Can you send back a note telling him I'm not comfortable with it? Or is it like you doing this?
I
Or
would
you just gonna be a
maybe suggest, okay, yeah, not walk down the aisle and do it there. Let's have a moment before we start and we can do that.
mm-hmm.
Maybe that's what I would offer. And then you can touch up your makeup and your hair before you actually
But
go
ain't
down.
nobody trying to do all of that. Like, see, that's a man being a man thinking, oh, this is cute, but not thinking about nothing else.
Right.
This girl probably sat through 2 hours of getting beat in the face.
Beat
Her hair,
it's called beat the face, not beat the face.
she went through all of that, got her hair done, and you want to put this thing on my face, sir.
Yeah. No,
Sir,
thank
and then
you.
pictures. You think about pictures of you coming down the aisle. That's what you're gonna see in my picture,
Exactly.
sir.
No, thank you.
No. So that was super cute. That was a great idea, but no, not
In
doing that
theory,
today.
not gonna work. Yeah.
Mhm.
So I thought the gift exchange thing was cute.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't
That was
I
nice.
don't know why with the little speaker. I thought maybe he had put together a playlist,
I thought we
and
had music too. There was no music.
I don't, at least she didn't play it. I don't
That
know.
was
Maybe there
ridiculous.
was. She just didn't play. But deep down, for some reason, I wanted her to hit play and like the most ratchet song come on and start playing.
Not from Ryan.
I know,
Not
and
from
that's why I was
Ryan.
like, okay, be honest. No song
Nope.
like that is going to come from Ryan.
Give
But
me
I just
country
think that
road.
would have been a total surprise, but cute.
No. Mm-mm.
But what about this ice thing? So Clara sent a gift to Ryan, and it was some shot glasses, some alcohol, and then she made in her note. She mentioned something about him getting on one knee, and it had the Smirnoff
Oh yeah,
Ice.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know anything about that. Do you? What
I know Captain Morgan does that,
Oh,
right? I
I
didn't
don't
know
think he's down
that.
on the knee, but he has that stance. Yeah.
I think that might, and y'all put it in the comments because maybe I'm not a big alcohol person, but I am assuming that might be a white thing. So y'all tell me if it's a drinking thing, is it a white thing? Like I just don't know about it. Shantae just doesn't know about it. But I've never heard about being iced and having to do that. But they look like they recognize it
Right
immediately.
away. And
But
again,
like I said, all his friends are white. So
yeah.
I don't know. But Captain Morgan, if it was a bottle of that, then I'll be like, oh, that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I
I was
didn't know
like, maybe
nothing.
I'm missing it. Maybe it's Atlanta thing. I didn't know. So
It's
I was
not
like, let me
Atlanta.
ask you real quick.
No.
But it did remind me of our college days of drinking Smirnoff Ice. Oh, we're
This
grown
is what
now.
we
We're
could.
grown now.
Yeah, that was what we could afford.
I didn't know that Smirnoff Ice was still popular like that. Maybe
I
is it?
didn't think
Maybe
so
not.
either, but I'm a wine cooler kind of person, so that's okay. You can
Yeah.
do that. I thought that part was a little cute. I thought Clara losing it over what was her hair
I thought it was the
and the
makeup. I
dress.
think it had to do with makeup and
No,
the
no, no.
dress. Something about
Yeah,
the
it was the
hem.
dress. It was her hair. Like she didn't like the hair. She
Oh,
didn't like anything. She was just freaking out when she was super calm before, and then she started losing it over everything, crying all the time. So I was like, girl, I don't understand how she didn't freak out about the mask. Because that would have been me. I'd be like, oh no,
exactly.
oh no. So yeah, that was okay. So we'll see. I was also peeping how this was being shot in the pandemic. So I was looking at how many people they actually had at the wedding, and everybody was all spread out at the
Mm-hmm.
actual wedding ceremony. I wanted to see like if people were going to be masked up and stuff. So I guess everybody was tested. They made it much smaller. But then my husband was asking like, I wonder how they're going to do the honeymoon. Where are they going to go? Because it's balls to the walls in
Well, Mexico is still
Mexico.
open and taking people, so they probably went to Mexico.
So I'm like, that's probably where they go. Because I'm like, where else are they gonna go? But how are they gonna travel with all of this? Like, are they gonna have a private plane? Because this is gonna be logistically very hard to
Yeah.
do this whole
I
thing
mean, I
without
was
anybody
watching
catching COVID.
too, and I'm like, they filmed this through a whole pandemic. I hadn't seen nobody wear a mask.
Well, there's
Um,
people wearing masks in the
well, of the
background.
couples in the
Yeah, yeah, the
background, right?
couples
The
are.
couples
I'm sure they're tested
themselves.
every day.
Huh?
I'm sure they're tested every day.
Yeah, I'm assuming they do too. And I was thinking, wondering if they were in like a little bubble so that maybe that's also why they're not wearing masks. And
Yeah.
then it just reminded me they're filming in Georgia. Georgia is a free for all right now, so it don't really matter.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is.
I mean, it kind of is, but you can't. It's a liability thing. You got to think of all the camera people, all the
Hmm.
producers, everything. They
So
don't
I'm
want to
sure
get
they're
sick
wearing
either,
masks. Yeah, I'm sure they're wearing masks.
right? But I'm just thinking they're not going to make them liable. Even the coaches, is that what they call them? Oh my
The
God. Pastor
experts,
Cal, the
Pastor
experts,
Cal, and all them.
they weren't wearing masks either. So I'm sure Pastor Cal is not going to go into nothing talking about, let me talk to these people with no mask on and they haven't been tested. I just see them all having to go through this whole process every day. And like you said, it might be an NBA bubble where once we're in this bubble, you can't go nowhere, you can't work, you can't do nothing. This is
Yeah,
it. And then when we're done filming, y'all can do whatever y'all want to do. Because I mean, this is hard. What if one of the couples caught COVID from each other? That's a whole lawsuit. I'm sure they got waivers, but I don't think they're gonna take that chance.
yeah. Okay. Well, we'll see how the show progresses and what happens with everything. But that is our first episode of recapping Married at First Sight, season 12, Atlanta. We
Yeah,
hope that you enjoyed it. This is basically you're joining a conversation that we would have had on the phone, but we're just taping ourselves and we're uploading it. So this is
yes,
kind of how we talk about everything. So
yes.
now you're just one of the friends and joining us in our queendom here.
Yes. And remember, before you leave, if you've made it this far and you love the conversation, put your predictions down in the comments too. Because I want to
Yes.
know, like, where are they going to go? Who's going to do it on the honeymoon? I mean, who's going to do it on the wedding night? Who's going to do it on the honeymoon? Where are they going to live? Like, just put whatever predictions you think is going to come up down in the comment sections and we'll respond to you because we're just as interested in these people's lives. Like, they're our friends, but they're not. But I love it.
Listen, we're invested in these relationships. Like Lori
Yeah,
said, we're going back, checking, making sure they still
they together.
together, how they're
Mm-hmm.
making it through. One of our favorite
Mm-hmm.
couples is expecting their first child now, Deanna and Greg from season 9, right?
Nine.
Charlotte.
Yeah.
So we're heavily invested in these couples. So we hope you'll join us and be invested as well. We wish them all the well. We wish them all well, but
Yes.
we'll see what happens.
We will
So
see.
again, thank you. Subscribe to our channel. We'll have our email address. Send us notes. Send us your questions. We'll
Yes.
start taping segments with Lori answering your questions, her giving you advice, whatever it is, dating, life, work. She gives great advice, believe me. And we hope to get to know you guys more. As you'll get to know us, we'll film more sessions talking about ourselves, how we met, what we're doing in life, things like that. So, again, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you on the next episode.
All right. Remember to protect your throne, girls and guys, whoever's watching. Protect your throne. Bye.
Bye.